Gender schema theory is a psychological theory that explains how individuals develop their understanding of gender through mental frameworks called schemas. These schemas help people categorize behaviors, activities, and roles as being associated with a particular gender. From an early age, children absorb information from their environment, shaping their beliefs about what is considered masculine or feminine. These gender-based expectations influence how individuals perceive themselves and others, guiding their choices in clothing, careers, and social interactions. Now let's look at the origin of gender schema theory. Gender schema theory was first introduced by psychologist Sandra Bem in the 1980s as an explanation for how children acquire gender-related knowledge. Bem suggested that children actively construct their understanding of gender by organizing information into categories based on what they see and experience. The theory builds on ideas from cognitive psychology, which emphasizes how mental structures shape behavior and perception. According to Bem, gender schemas develop early in life and influence how people process new information, reinforcing cultural expectations about gender roles. Now let's look at an example of gender schema theory in action. An example of gender schema theory can be seen in how children choose toys. A young child may see that dolls are often given to girls and trucks are given to boys. Over time, they develop a schema that associates dolls with femininity and trucks with masculinity. Even if no one directly tells them that boys should not play with dolls, they may still avoid them because the idea does not fit their gender schema. Similarly, a child may assume that certain careers, such as nursing or engineering, are better suited for one gender based on the information they have absorbed from their surroundings. These schemas shape how people interpret the world and influence their decisions. Now let's look at some strengths of gender schema theory. One strength of gender schema theory is that it explains how gender roles develop early in life. Unlike theories that focus only on biological influences, this theory highlights the role of social and cognitive factors in shaping gender identity. By emphasizing how individuals actively process gender-related information, it provides a framework for understanding why certain beliefs about gender persist across generations. Another strength is that the theory helps explain why gender stereotypes are difficult to change. Since gender schemas shape how people interpret new information, individuals may reject or ignore facts that contradict their existing beliefs. This explains why cultural norms about gender roles can remain strong even when societal views evolve. Now let's look at some weaknesses of gender schema theory. One weakness of gender schema theory is that it does not fully account for individual differences in gender identity. While the theory explains how people learn gender roles, it does not always explain why some individuals reject traditional gender norms or develop identities that do not fit within common schemas. This suggests that other factors, such as personal experiences and biological influences, also play a role in shaping gender identity. Another weakness is that gender schema theory may oversimplify how gender-related behaviors are learned. People do not always passively absorb gender norms from their environment. Instead, they actively question, modify, or reject these norms based on their own experiences. This means that while gender schemas influence behavior, they may not fully determine how individuals think about gender or how they express themselves over time.